This is going to be a somber one. We are here today. Well, I'm not going to spoil it yet because technically chapter's not out officially yet. But it's going to be a sad day for all fans of a particular character. Well, we all knew this was going to happen. I mean, we clearly have to know. I mean, like, there's really... the writing was on the table the whole time. I mean, it was right there. Please meow. I'm not going to. I will give you a tweet. Tweet! There you go. I tweeted. There you are. I just woke up. I did too. So we're all in the same boat there on that one. He's like, I just woke up. He's like, I did too. We're doing this a little earlier, very early today. I mean, it's like, okay, it's 9 o'clock. It's actually almost 10. It's 9:40 a.m. right now where I'm at. But yeah, for me, that's very early. I'm going out of town this weekend, and I'm leaving today around 1. So I had to do this a little earlier than usual because I'm not going to be able to do... I mean, I guess I could film something during the weekend. I'm going to have a camera and stuff with me, but live stream, maybe not, because internet Wi-Fi, when it comes to internet Wi-Fi, hotel Wi-Fi is not the best usually. So I might be able to upload something, but streaming is always kind of probably not, you know. But yeah. Hi from Paraguay. Hey, coincidentally, that's where I'm going. I'm going to Paraguay. No, I'm not going to Paraguay. I'd like to go to Paraguay. I'd like to go to South America. I've never been to South America. Good morning from Philly. Yeah, so you're in the same time zone as me. Yeah. Will the stream just be an hour? It'll probably be an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Yeah, because I do have to finish packing after I'm done. And then eat lunch and everything and then get going. Okay, so Atlas looked like a sheep to me, so maybe she was the sacrificial lamb. Well, I mean, she was, but at the same time, like, so was Shaka and Pythagoras and Edison. Although I will say, the only one that I think that got the chapter title, well, maybe, didn't Pythagoras also get a chapter title named after him? I think Pythagoras did too, but Edison didn't, and Atlas did. So Atlas, I think, is confirmed to be dead. I don't know if Edison is confirmed to be dead. But then again, Shaka didn't get one either, and he got his brains blown out, so I'm pretty sure that Shaka is dead. Yeah. So many D's in this chapter. Yeah, we find out that Clover is a D. Can talk a little bit more about Clover's name, which, as a lot of Irish fans have told me, I guess the way to pronounce his name is closer to the word cleave. So, like, Cleve D. Clover, or Clive, somewhere between Clive and Cleve. So, I guess I'll just say Cleve D. Clover. There's a lot of D Clan members we're finding out about. Also, his older brother was also a member of the D Clan. Yeah, so there's some interesting stuff there. Also involving Celtic mythology with his name, referencing a sword of light that can slay demons. Somebody actually brought up as a comment I was reading last night that, like, okay, so the Sword of Light myth usually involves, like, slaying a demon by stabbing it in a very particular spot of its body, like a weak point with the Sword of Light. And people have brought up, like, well, what about the Gorosei scars? You know, the Gorosei have scars, well, most of them do, all over their body. So maybe, like, if they get stabbed in their scars, I'll just pull them up here, then they can die. Atlas might have survived if someone wasn't wishing otherwise on her every chapter. Okay, I mean, like, if that's how that works, is that how that works? Like, I have the ability to influence, like, hey, if you're going all in on that, the idea that I have the ability to influence this story if I just think really hard about certain things, it's like, okay, well, all right, let's do this. Vivi joins the crew. Vivi joins the crew. Shanks has a hot sister. Shanks has a hot sister. Come on, let's make this happen. If that's that easy, then there we go. But the Gorosei. So, here are the Gorosei. And out of all of them, the ones that we know that have noticeable scars or birthmarks are, we have Peter, who has a scar across his chest. We have Jay that has a scar on his face, and Top Man has like not really a scar, it's more of like a birthmark because he's based off of Gorbachev. So he has a mark on his forehead though. And then you have Ethan and Mars that I don't think they have a noticeable scar anywhere. Yeah, I mean, like, we always see Gonfall standing up back there, which, by the way, Oda said in an SBS last week that, yeah, it's maybe because the reason he's always standing up, because whenever you see the Gorosei, Mars is always back there standing up, and he's like, is that because he got in trouble with the teacher and he didn't hand his homework in on time, so he has to stand? And Oda's response was like, I don't even have time to go back and check if that's true, that he's always standing up. I'm just going to take your word for it. Sure, that's the reason. I always remember their names by just remembering all of their, like, normal English names. So we have, I mean, origins might not be in English, but we have Peter, we have Ethan, we have Top Man, we have Marcus, and we have Jay. And the only one that's not normal is Top Man. He's the one that has a little bit of a weird name. But other than that, yeah. And we have, Ethan Barron here, and I don't think Ethan has... What if it's a thing where some of the Gorosei have scars and that's their weak point, but then you have Ethan who doesn't have a scar and it's like, I have no weak points, and it's like, what? It might be something like that. Good morning. I always miss these streams, but I watch the VODs. Thanks for all the videos and entertainment. Keep up the entertainment. What's your opinion on Bonnie joining the Straw Hats? I do not think Bonnie's going to join the Straw Hats. I mean, like, she's going to be with the Straw Hats when they go to Elbaf. Like, that's going to be... So, whatever they do on Elbaf, I'm sure Bonnie will be there, and I guess Lilith as well. They'll be there, and Kaku maybe as well, Stussy. Like, there's going to be a big group with the Straw Hats on Elbaf, but I think eventually when the Straw Hats leave Elbaf, they're going to leave behind Bonnie and Kuma. Like, I think Bonnie and Kuma are going to stay with Saul on Elbaf, along maybe even with Lilith. I don't think Lilith is going to join the crew. It would be cool if she did. I doubt it. I think, though, Vivi's going to switch out at that point, though. I think Vivi's going to arrive, and then Vivi's going to journey with the Straw Hats all the way to the end. And then Lilith, Bonnie, Kuma, Kaku, Stussy, they're all going to stay on Elbaf. You know, I think it would make most sense for Lilith to stay with Kuma, because Kuma needs repaired, and the only person that could do that now is Lilith or York, and you know York's not going to do it, so it has to be Lilith pretty much. And also the Revolutionaries as well, like the Revolutionaries like rejoining with Kuma and everything is going to happen, I think, at some point. So I don't think they're going to join the Straw Hats permanently, no. Vivi, most overrated character in the story. That is a hot take. I disagree. Why do you think she's overrated? I will say that much. I guess I need something to go off there in order to delve into it more. I think that she is the smartest pick for a new, like, the last Straw Hat, because she's already traveled with them before. So instead of introducing a new character that the Straw Hats have just met, and they just met the dynamic, at least there's somebody already out there that already has traveled with them before, you know? What do you think will happen with Usopp during Elbaf? I don't think Usopp's going to stay on Elbaf. I don't think it's going to be a moment where Usopp is like, I need to stay here. But there's going to be something really big with Usopp on Elbaf. And I think that's really important for his character because Usopp really hasn't, like, what's the last big moment Usopp's had in this story? Like, of consequence. Like, a really big deal. And honestly, I think it might have been when he knocked out Sugar and saved Luffy and Law. That might have been the last moment that he had a really big shining time. Because he didn't really do anything in Wano. He knocked out some guards in Wano, and he used the, like, oh, I have Conqueror's Haki, and it's like Big Mom, and there's a joke there. That was like the most notable thing Usopp did. He fought against Page One, but he wasn't the one to defeat Page One. It wasn't like Usopp and Page One had this really balls-out slobber knocker of a fight, and they're both wounded, and there's like a whole chapter dedicated to it, and Usopp finally beats him through sheer perseverance. Big Mom's the one that knocked out Page One, and Big Mom's the one that took out Ulti, and then Nami kind of like knocked Ulti out with the lightning bolt. That was kind of the last hit there. So Page One was just knocked out by Big Mom. That was that. Yeah, Dressrosa was the last time, I think. I think Yamato will join the Straw Hats in mid-Elbaf. I don't think Yamato has a whole cover story that he has to complete first, and that's going to take a while considering Yamato has just barely made it out of the Flower Capital. So I think it's going to be a while until we see Yamato meeting the Straw Hats again, yeah. Let's see, question from Gerard. Do you think Kuma dies? Make the arc much better? I don't think Kuma's going to die. I think if Kuma was going to die, it would have been in the moment where he shows up and, like, saves Bonnie and everybody. Like, if he was going to, like, detonate or sacrifice himself, I think that would have been the moment. I think now they're on the ship. I don't think Oda's going to kill off Kuma. High-teching, do you ever get to watching The Hunchback of Notre Dame? I did. I watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame a few weeks ago. I also was listening to the one of the plays, one of the musicals, like, of the different songs and stuff in there. Really good stuff. If so, what did you think of it in the opening of the movie? I really loved the movie. In fact, I liked everyone was talking about Hellfire being one of the best songs. It really is. I love Hellfire, but I really like the Bells of Notre Dame, like the opening song. I think I probably listened to that one more than I have Hellfire. But it's really good. Cloud Frollo is a really terrifying villain. But yeah, thank you, Respira. It's very good. So, like, let me talk to you. Like, let me ask about, like, what it means by joining the Straw Hats at this phase in the story. Because the story's almost over. Like, we have Elbaf after this, and then after that, I feel like we're just going to head off to Laugh-Tale. Like, maybe there might be something else in between, but I really think Elbaf and then Laugh-Tale is kind of like where we're going with this. There might be stuff after Laugh-Tale, too. Like, there's a big war that's going to happen. But, like, if you talk... Oh, Lodestar as well. So Lodestar might also be included. All right, so if we're including that, like, we got Elbaf, we got Lodestar, and then maybe Laugh-Tale is, like, the final battle, and then that's it, and then an epilogue. So... Like, if anybody joins the Straw Hats at this point, it's not going to be for much longer. So, like, at this point, I would just feel really comfortable with Vivi joining because she's already had the dynamic. I don't think we need to have Bonnie and Kuma and Lilith and everybody joining. What is Lodestar? Lodestar is the last island that the log pose points to. Like, if you just keep following the log pose, it'll eventually converge at Lodestar, and that's the end of the log pose route. So Laugh-Tale is not magnetically charged, or at least it's not discoverable via the log post, so you have to find Lodestar, and then you have to go some other way to find... And the way that Roger talked about it is when he arrived at Lodestar, that was when he learned about the road poneglyph's existence. That's when he learned that there was another island out there that he needed to find. The Straw Hats found out about it a little bit earlier than Roger did, because like Inuarashi and Nekomamushi just kind of told them about it because they already knew. So it's kind of like that. Battle Royale at Lodestar for the road poneglyphs. I mean, like, well, the road poneglyphs, well, I guess, yeah. I mean, like, the road poneglyphs aren't on the island, but you find out where they are on the, like, you find out their existence on the island. So I don't know how. I don't know if there's a poneglyph that points to other poneglyphs or whatever. Like, maybe there's one poneglyph on Lodestar that talks about other poneglyphs. Or maybe there's a person on Lodestar that told them maybe Gabon is on that island or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a big battle royale for who gets all of the road poneglyphs. Yeah. Teching, do you think there's any meaning for Sanji's new bounty poster to be Duval drawing again? I don't know why they did that. It doesn't really make any sense. I think Oda just did it because he thought it was funny. I don't think it really makes any sense for them to go back to the original. And also, Sanji doesn't even acknowledge that it's back to the original, which is weird. Like, and they did it in the anime too. It's very strange. Like, Sanji, I don't think there's a line where Sanji's looking at it and he's like, why did they change it back to this shit? Like, I don't think there's a line where he says that. I don't even know if he acknowledges it. He was upset because his bounty was lower than Zoro's, but that's it. Let's see. I think Lilith and Bonnie are definitely joining Atlas, Nami, and Vegapunk. Well, yeah, they're going to take care of her. They're not just going to abandon her, but, you know, they're going to go to Elbaf. They'll have an adventure on Elbaf, and then there's probably going to be a point where Lilith's going to stay there. Or go join the Revolutionaries. If you're ever in Oklahoma, look me up. Okay, Mr. Wednesday. Okay, gotcha. If I'm ever driving through the great state of Oklahoma, I would actually love to visit Oklahoma. There's a lot of Native American reservations in Oklahoma because it was originally Indian territory because Trail of Tears. So there's a lot of history there. And I would love to go on like some of the reservations and like listen to the natives like stories and stuff like that and history because that would be really fascinating for me. Why does the Guinness Book World Records say that One Piece ends in 2025? I think it's just because something that Otis said in an interview, but it was taken out of context, like a lot of things. Like, Oda probably said in an interview at some point, like, I hope to finish this within another 5 years or 10 years or whatever he made the interview, and people took that literally. We have no idea when One Piece is going to end now. I doubt it's going to end next year. I don't think it's feasible for it to end next year. Like, with the amount of breaks we take, and like every year Oda will at least take like a month off. Like, I really don't think it is physically possible to end it by 2025. I don't know if you liked further into it after the reviews, but it seemed out climb is pronounced like cleave, not climb. Yeah, so people have said that because they're Irish and they actually know how to pronounce words in that dialect. So I'm gonna say cleave from now on. Yeah, I mentioned it's more. I've heard cleave or clive, similar to that. So I'll go with cleave. The way I was listening, I pulled up a thing. The only thing I found on YouTube, because I do try to find pronunciations, and the only thing I found for that word was a what's it called? Like a music presentation thing. Hold on, this thing right here. So I thought they were saying climb solas, so I've listened to that like 15 times, and I was like, I can't exactly figure out what they're saying. That was loud. Sorry. I'll dial it down a little bit here. There you go. That was the closest I had to it. That's the only thing. I apologize if that was loud. I have a theory for you. What if Emmett was sent into the future not by Toki, but the previous user? Remember that Joy Boy and the 20 Kingdoms were fighting for a long time. P.S. I'm seeing the One Piece Symphony this week. That's cool. I always want to see the Symphony. The Symphony is going to be next year in Pittsburgh. I might go see it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, it could be Toki, it could be the previous user. They were fighting for a whole century, but I think Joy Boy was near the end of it, and I think Toki would have been around when Joy Boy was around. I think Toki and Joy Boy and Emmett all lived at the same time, which is like near the end of the battle. Maybe the battle started before Joy Boy was born and everything, and Toki was born and everything. But yeah. It sounds like the Smash Brothers Brawl intro. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what they took it from, yeah. Toki is from back then, so what previous user? Well, there was definitely a previous user. I mean, Toki had to get the power from someone. Dude, her name is Toki, and she has the Toki Toki no Mi. I feel like it's something, like, passed down from family member to family member at that point. Like, this is Toki, she will have the Toki Toki no Mi. Like, she's part of a family of, like, priests that safeguard the fruit or something. Her name's Toki, and she has the same name of her power. That's a little weird. It's a little on the nose on that one. Yeah. We don't know how long devil fruits existed. We don't. We don't know. People have said during the Void Century, but they might have existed before that. We do not know. They named the fruit after her. You know what? If devil fruits did get into existence at that time, maybe so. Well, Toki literally just means time in Japanese. So, well, it could mean time. There's a few different. Yeah. There has to be an original user at some point. Yep. I mean, like, the fruits didn't always exist. If they're born from human desire. So, I mean, the idea is that humans existed first, and then they had desire, and then the fruits came into existence. So, yeah, there was definitely an original user. Does anyone in Shanks' crew have a devil fruit? Not that we're... maybe. Howling Gab has a power where he can shoot, like, an energy laser out of his mouth. That's probably a devil fruit. Shanks doesn't. Lucky Roo, Yasopp, Ben Beckman, Rockstar, Lime Juice. From what we understand, they don't have one. But we just don't know a lot about their crew in general. Sorry for the cringe message, but I live in the Canary Islands and I've never been on your stream, so just wanted to say thanks for me. That's not a cringe message. That's a very wholesome message. Thank you. I would like to visit the Canary Islands. That's where, let's see here. Well, historically, as we all know, that is where Irina Joestar was shipwrecked for a few days before she was saved, and the coffin sank below with Dio inside of it. Which, of course, is the source of some contention in the fan base because people were questioning, like, is it the same coffin or whatever? But, you know, it was. But, yeah. What do you think will happen on Egghead? To Egghead? I think Emmett's gonna blow his load. I think Emmett's gonna blow his payload. He's gonna nuke. He's gonna detonate. He's gonna Netero himself, and he's gonna just wipe out all of Egghead because it's like the island is pretty much destroyed anyway at this point. And I mean, like, if you're gonna wipe out Punk Records, you might as well annihilate it so that the government can't get their hands on it. So it's either the government gets their hands on Punk Records or it gets destroyed. Because I don't, like, there's no way that the Straw Hats left. Like, there's no way that Punk Records is going with the Straw Hats. They're not on the Labo phase anymore. They left without it. So that's a problem. But yeah, I think Emmett's just going to be like, is this the time for me, Joy Boy? Yes, okay. And then the island is just destroyed. And then the Gorosei are incinerated, but they'll still be able to like come back, but it'll probably take like quite some time. If their bodies are completely nuked and incinerated, it'll take a significant amount of time for them to recover from that. What about Stussy? Stussy probably is with the Straw Hats. We didn't see her, but she might be. They would also lose the Mother Flame. I guess they would, yeah. If this happens, then yeah. The Straw Hats get sucked into the digital world. What Digimon partner will each member get? I have no idea. I have to go back and watch Digimon. I only am aware of, like, Digimon, like, the only Digimon season I really remember pretty well is, well, the first season and the fourth season is Frontier, because I like Frontier. I like Frontier more than Tamers, which is a very hot debate. I like Tamers. Tamers is fine, but Frontier's cooler. You get to become the Digimon. That's so cool. Yeah. What do you think about the new Dragon Ball game? Is it out yet? Because I haven't gotten it, if it's out yet. I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but maybe I'll check this one out. I will check out the new Bleach game, though, Rebirth of Souls. That looks fucking badass. And it's a fighting game, too. But Bleach fighting games are the one exception because I've actually played, like, a lot of Bleach fighting games before. So I kind of want another Bleach fighting game. I could really, really use that. So, and if you have, like, every character, that's really good. What do you think they will do with the dead bodies of Vegapunk and Kuma? I mean, like, if Vegapunk, the Stella, is dead, they'll probably just bury him when they get to Elbaf. Like, Saul and everybody will give him a burial, and they'll, you know, like, sorry, Vegapunk. And Kuma's not dead. It's just that he's, you know, a robot. He can still, like, well, he can't move right now, but I feel like that's because his machinery is damaged. I feel like Lilith should be able to fix him enough so he can move again. Will he ever go back to the way he was? Maybe not, but he'll at least still be able to move around and stuff and have, like, maybe he's kind of, like, very limited mental faculties, but he might still remember, like, Bonnie will protect her, she, my daughter, you know, like something like that. Still waiting for Morgans or Vegapunk to turn the cameras on for the world to see the five elders in their demon form. That would be really handy if he could do that. The government just, it gets exposed, like everything gets laid bare, and everybody in the world is like, what the fuck are those things? Can you see Eam taking Saturn's life for the failure on Egghead? No, because I think they still need him. If they do take Saturn's life, then Eam might be able to make a new Saturn. Like, Eam will be like, I take your power, and I give it to someone else, you know? But I like reducing their numbers for the sake of that, I don't see it working, no. Why haven't the government went to the moon and just settle up there since the world is sinking? Probably don't have the capabilities to do that. They might not know that you could just go to the moon. Like, it might not be a thing they realize that you could just fly up there. Flying machines in One Piece are kind of, like, we don't know what the ancient weapon is that destroyed Leloucia. We don't know the whole story behind that. Maybe you could get people on there, like a flying saucer, and go up there, but, you know, it's not like the government has, like, even the government doesn't have access to flying machines from what we've seen. Eneru did it, but yeah, he had a flying machine running on his power, and he made an arc. You know, I guess the government never thought to do that before. The government never thought, hey, let's go up to the moon. The moon doesn't have resources anymore. That's why the sky race is left. Yeah, I mean, like, Eneru is like one dude living up there might be okay, but like an entire group of people living up there probably not going to work out too well because they literally can't survive. The red line is like 10 kilometers. I mean, the red line, we still do not know how tall the red line is from sea level to Marijois. We don't know that number, actually. We know from sea level to Fishman Island, it's 10,000 meters down, but we don't know how much from sea level up to Marijois. So I'm assuming it's right below right before the Sky Islands. So maybe like 6,000 meters up. Sky Islands or White Sea is 7,000 meters, and the White Sea is 10,000 meters. What do you think will happen to York? She's going to get captured by the Gorosei and the government, and they're going to think she's going to be like, yay, I get to be a Tenryubito now. And they're like, yeah, sure, you do. And they bring her back to Marijois, and they chain her up, and they're like, okay, you're going to work for us now. And it's like, what? But I want to be a Tenryubito. It's like, you're going to work for us or we're going to kill you. And that's going to be what York's going to do, yeah. And York is clearly a coward. Like, she clearly doesn't want to die, so she'll probably just have to do it. She'll have to work for them, yeah. Where are they traveling to again? I low-key forgot. They're going to Elbaf right now, is the Straw Hats, if that's what you're referring to. Oh, shit, right. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Here we go. I'm sorry. No, that's... Okay. No, the reason why the audio was low on that one... Yesterday, when we were doing One Piece D&D, Rustage kept telling me to lower my gain because there was a problem with the Discord, or there was a problem... Not the Discord. There was a problem with the audio with the D&D. So he kept telling me to lower the audio, lower your gain, and then I kept doing it, and I forgot to turn it back up, so I'm sorry about that. Really sorry about that. Didn't even notice. I just woke up. I apologize. Well, it's only 26 minutes into the stream, so there we go. I lost my gains. No. All right. Oh, where am I traveling to? Me and my dad are going to Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. It's the site of the Battle of Gettysburg back in 1863 at the Civil War. I've never been. My dad's been there when he was a little kid, and he always wanted to go back. And I really like the history of, the Civil War and everything like that. I love reading about it, so I'm going to go and check it out. Damn it, Rustage! No, I'm not blaming Rustage. Don't blame Rustage. I should have been aware. I should have remembered I turned my gain down. Yeah. Congrats for the Atlas prediction. Like, I don't really think it was a prediction. I just, she's gonna die. I just sensed it like, oh yeah, Atlas, okay, well, she's gonna be dead by the end of this. I just felt like it was gonna happen, yeah. Don't tell people where you go and when. You'll never know if you have stalkers. If somebody comes up to me at Gettysburg and says, hey, Tekking, it's cool to meet you, I'd shake their hand and sign an autograph, Most people I meet while out in the wild, I've run into fans before at, Walmart, in the town I live, and I've met people around. It happens, And they're all really pretty good. They're not, nobody ever, follows me around and is creepy or anything, so it's fine. I think most people are just like, hey, are you that guy from YouTube? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, cool. I was like, you got me. And then I'll just, shake their hand and take a picture if they want to take a picture, and then that's it. They'll be like, okay, well, have a good day, see ya, and then they leave, and then that's it. Yeah. Do you think Usopp could get Conquerors? I mean, yes. I want him to get Conquerors, actually, just because it's funny. It goes along with the joke. What was that Atlas has Uta's hair? Maybe Oda, when Film Red came out, maybe Oda was just like, I like this hair design, I'll give it to Atlas. Who else is a D? I wouldn't be shocked if Shanks had the Will of D. Then again, Shanks is son of Garling, probably, so they probably don't have the Will of D, but wouldn't that be interesting if the Will of D was in the government and they didn't know about it? I wouldn't be surprised if Odin had it, if it turns out Odin had the Will of D, even though he didn't have it in his name. Sabo having it, Buggy having it. Buggy having it, I think, is a popular theory. I studied today. Good job. Cloud Atlas. I never saw Cloud Atlas, actually. Do you have the Will of D? No, I have the Will of P, because my middle name is Paul. Paul. Do you think Mihawk has been to Wano? I think it's pretty likely he has been, yeah. I mean, Mihawk's whole thing is he fights strong swordsmen, so he's probably traveled to Wano before. A lot of the strongest samurai, though, were probably killed, so that sucks. I can never die. I have the will of PES. Odin smiled at death. First teching stream in years, and I'm disappointed. Why are you disappointed? Hi. How you doing? That's my dad's name. Are you my dad? Sure. What is your favorite sword? In One Piece, it's probably the Yubashiri. I really always liked Yubashiri. I was very upset when it was destroyed. I like Shusui, though, too. Shusui's really cool. It's like a black sword. I think Yamato's gets the final nod of the last Straw Hat. Yamato's strength, I feel, will be needed for more than VV political knowledge and chemistry with them. I mean, dude, like, if we're talking final battle, like, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be there. Like, Yamato's going to be there. Doflamingo's going to be there. Katakuri's going to be there. Not saying all these people are allies of the Straw Hats, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of people are going to be there. Kobe and Sword is going to be there. Like, there's going to be a lot of people during this final battle. Yamato will probably be there. Yamato will help the Straw Hats. Same thing with the Grand Fleet. Like, the Grand Fleet's going to roll up, and they're going to be there. And they're going to be fighting alongside the Straw Hats, but that doesn't make them, like, members of the crew in that instance. And at that point, it's, like, near the end. So, okay, even if Yamato shows up and Luffy's like, yeah, you're a member of the crew now, it's like, the story's almost over at that point. So it's like, okay, sure, great. Like, Luffy could be like, you're all members of the crew now. And there's, like, 100 members of the Straw Hat crew, and it's like, well, the story's over, so just, like, whatever. That would be so fucking funny. Everybody join my crew. Just, yeah. Do you think there will be another chase after they escape with Lilith in a later arc? No, I mean, like, once again, the story's winding down. I don't think we have enough time for, like, another, like, Robin kind of, like, I want to live, you need to save me from Cypherpole kind of moment. Like, if we had another 10 years of the story, maybe, but I don't think we're going to have an arc where Lilith is going to be, like, well, maybe it could be a subplot if they find out she's alive, but that probably won't be the main focus. You know, maybe they find out Lilith is alive and it's like, we have to go to Elbaf and stop and kill her, but I don't think it'll be the main focus of the arc. Do you think Long Ring Longland was created by Joy Boy? It has a similar shape to the Nika symbol and stuff. They're stretched and have more freedom. It could be. I think Oda put a lot of things in his story that reference the Void Century, and then when we find out more about the Void Century, we're going to look back and be like, oh, Long Ring Longland, oh, Ennie's Lobby, oh, this, oh, that was all a reference, you know, at Raijin Island, you know, these were all references to the Void Century the whole time. Does that mean necessarily, like, Joy Boy physically created them, or it's just, like, a little wink to the audience, like Oda's like, I laid clues all over the place, no one ever really noticed, you know? When is Arouge showing up? I have no idea. I don't know. Hopefully in the next arc, or maybe he just spends the rest of his days in peace. You deserve my first ever super chat. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for everything. What do you think will be the effects of the reveal of Roger's real name to the world? So people have actually, because I think there was a translation when Sengoku. Hold on a minute. Let me go grab the Viz really quick. Okay, I think it's somewhere in. I think it's volume 56 or it's volume 57. It's one of the two. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the escape from Impel Down, so somewhere around here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Sengoku does say Gold Roger, because there was a translation where he says Gold D Roger, and people were like, don't people already know that his dad was Gold D Roger? What, you know what, because from this scene, because there's another thing I actually have. Did I take it for the review, or I might not have? Let's see. No, I don't think I have it, but there is a translation that does say that. But no, he didn't say Gold Roger. So I think he said Gold Roger. He didn't say Gold D Roger. So I think, yeah, the world is going to be like, they're going to start connecting the dots in a big way on this. Did they say Gold D Ace during Marineford? I don't think he did. I mean, if they did say Gold D Ace, see, that's the thing. That's what I was curious about. Like, do people know that, like, it's a hereditary thing, like, usually passed down from son to, you know, child, or father to son to, you know, their grandchild or whatever? Because if they know that, like, okay, he's Portgas D Ace or Gold D Ace, that means his dad would be Gold D Roger. Like, it should have been obvious, right? But maybe some people just don't give a shit, and they're just like, who cares if your middle name has a D? Who gives a crap? You know, it doesn't mean anything. Do you think Emerald City could be on the Island of Dreams? Maybe. It ties into the thing where the Sariyama Alliance are looking for it. So the Sariyama Alliance are right now looking for the... it has an actual name, but it's the Island of Dreams. The actual literal translation is Island of Dreams. So maybe on there you'll have the Emerald City. Or maybe the Emerald City will be on Elbaf. Maybe they'll go to Elbaf and it'll be an Emerald City as a capital. Why not? I'm pretty sure they did, but the masses probably didn't think much about it. Yeah, I mean, like, you also got to think of yourself like a farmer or a fisherman in this story. Like, you're learning about all this stuff as a farmer in the South Blue. What the fuck does it have to do with you? Like, it's like, Void Century? I don't give a crap about no Void Century. Willa D? I don't give a crap about no Willa D. I'm harvesting radishes over here. You know, like, come on, Ma, let's have dinner. You know, like... That's all you care about. You're like, you don't give a shit about Gold Roger, Gold D Roger. There's probably a lot of people that's like, who gives a crap? You know? Yeah, they said he took his mom's name, which includes the D. All right, but I still feel like if anybody actually sat down and really cared about it, because there's people that don't, but if people care to be like, well, what if Gold Roger's actually Gold D Roger? Like, it's not something that's really that hard to really figure out. Maybe Joy Boy didn't lose. He had someone end him so they couldn't power the weapons to end the war because the war isn't over. He stalled it out. Maybe. You know what I was also thinking? I don't want this to be what the Will of D stands for, but so because a lot of people have already assumed it. Like, it's already something that's been thrown out there like a million times. If the D stands for devil, because it's such an obvious, it's so on the nose. Like Corazon said, you know, the enemy of God, and then the Will of D is will of the devils. Okay, and then it's like maybe a twist, or like maybe Joy Boy wasn't a great guy. Maybe Joy Boy was actually kind of evil, and it's the will of evil the entire time. It's the will of the devil the entire time. It's not a new theory. It's a theory that's been around for a while. Now, does that mean that Oda's going to be like, well, people figured out my what I was going to do, so I'm going to change it? Or is he going to keep it with it? I don't know. I would prefer it not be Devil or Dawn or anything like that, because Dawn is so obvious, like, if that's what it is. Yeah. But he's a funny cartoon that makes people laugh. Exactly. So, you know. Well, hey, you know, do you ever watch a show or a movie or read a manga where you're kind of rooting for the bad guy? You know, sometimes that happens, and it's like, oh, hey, I kind of feel bad for the villain here, you know? Did you ever watch Shaolin Showdown? Jack Spicer, he was a villain, but he was funny. He was a funny guy. Let's see. Do you think we are going to the Void Century flashback, and how many chapters do you think we are getting? I mean, like, not right now. We will get the proper Void Century flashback when Robin finds the Rio Poneglyph and starts reading it. That's, I think, when Oda's going to actually show the Void Century flashback in its entirety. Yeah, Mayori's a piece of shit in Bleach, but he's the most fascinating character. He might be my favorite character in Bleach. He's a fucking sadist, but, like, his fights are always the most interesting. Monkey, Dawn, Krieg, Luffy. There you go. Yeah. Will of Doofenshmirtz. I would like that, yeah. I hit you with a Shaolin Showdown. Yeah, classic Shaolin Showdown reference. Shaolin Showdown. Why is it abbreviated anyway? Why did the Clan of D not use its full name? I actually think, like, it might not even stand for anything. Like, the Will of D might be like, it might stand for something, like a will, but it's not like the D stands for devil. The D stood for dawn the entire time. Like, I don't think it is that. I think it might be just the Will of D is the Will of D, but it stands for the never-ending fighting spirit of Joy Boy or something like that. More not, I guess saying metaphorical is not correct, but, like, I don't know. The D is a symbol. Okay, it's not, the D doesn't literally translate to something. It's just the D is a symbol, you know? We are the D, 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 we are the D. Okay, hot take. At the end of Tenacious D, the Devil's part of that song is way better. Like, I think the Devil did legitimately win the rock off at the end of Tenacious D. Like, I liked Tenacious D's cover of. I love their song. I like what they did. I think the Devil's was just legitimately better. So I don't know. I think they deserved. I think Gage should have gone to hell at the end of that. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, I felt the same, but the Devil did take the W, man. I mean, yeah. That's maybe the point, yeah. What's really great in that is that when they, like, hey, we challenge you to a rock off, and the Devil is just like, fuck! Like, he's so pissed. He's, like, reading an ancient scroll. He's, like, so mad he has to do this, but then he gets to judge the rock off anyway. Because they do the rock off. He's like, you guys are fucking lame. I win. It's just like, so he gets to judge the rock off anyway. So why is he so pissed? Just like, it's great. I love Tenacious D. It's such a good movie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, BL's a boss. Yeah. The dark fruit isn't a logia. It is literally darkness. It's a psychological darkness, which is why it negates devil fruits. Maybe. I'm okay with the Yami Yami no Mi turning out to be something weird and different. Like, I'm okay with it being like, it was the fourth type of devil fruit the entire time. I'd be like, all right. I mean, that one is a little bit weird, so I can kind of see it. Or like, it was a special paramecia the whole time. And I'm like, all right, I could see that too. Where do you think Scopper Gaban is? He might be on Lodestar, now that I think about it. Maybe he stayed on Lodestar, yeah. And also, I think wherever Gabon is, it's also maybe where the Oro Jackson is. Because the Oro Jackson just kind of, like, there's what about all the cool swag that, like, the Roger Pirates had, like all their treasure and the egg and the Oro Jackson and Roger's sword. What happened to Ace? Maybe Rayleigh has it, but we don't see him have it. Maybe Rayleigh is using it, but I think Roger left with his sword. He wouldn't have just let the sword fall in the hands of the government. He would have given it to somebody, So, yeah. It's at One Piece, duh. Well, no, it isn't, because they left Laugh-Tale with the Oro Jackson. So, unless, like, Gabon was like, all right, I'm going to go back to Laugh-Tale now. And I guess that he could have, but like I think they're all scattered all over the world now. Yeah. What happened to the gold? The gold of Roger. What's up with that big ass egg? Yeah, like, do they have it for breakfast? What's up with it? The problem is that Lodestar is useless. It's not that it's useless. It's like, you go there to usually find out that this is where the road poneglyphs, they exist, and this is where they're located, right? Or that you might not even find out where they're located. You might just find out they exist. So, like, they might still go there just because this is their journey. Like, Luffy is like, this is our journey. We're going to do it the way we want it to do. So we might just keep following the log and eventually reach Lodestar. Lodestar probably is right after Elbaf. Thoughts on the Yami Yami no Mi being based on Eam, like the Nika fruit being based on Joy Boy? Oh, that could be good. I could see that. Yeah, I like that idea. I always like the idea that there is, like, a god of the moon or a god of, like, you want to go sun and darkness. You can go sun and moon or sun and darkness. Both kind of work. And I think that works actually better. But Blackbeard is also referenced to, there's sometimes he's drawn with the moon in the background, so it kind of makes sense either way. Moon works better. I mean, it does, but, like, I can see it both ways. The opposite of the sun would be, like, the opposite of light would be dark. The opposite of moon would be sun. Why didn't the Marines build a huge base on Lodestar if it's so important? Probably really hard-ass to get to. It's probably not easy to get to. Probably not something that you could easily reinforce with a fortress and have, like, supplies come in and out of it and ships coming in and out of it all the time. Might be surrounded by really tough weather. It's not easy to get to. Maybe, like, one ship, if it's really lucky and they really have a good crew, maybe they can get through. But, like, having a marine base kind of implies that you can have ships dock there and resupply and constant, like, personnel coming and going, and that might just not be possible at Lodestar. Might be a small island, too. Yeah. I mean, it is far away from Marineford, but that's not, I mean, like, there's marine bases all over the world, so that's not technically a reason, but it's probably just really in the depths of the New World, really dangerous weather. Could be underwater. I don't think Lodestar's underwater. I think Laughtail might be, though. Hey, Teching, I loved your last stream. What if the fishmen get the worst treatment because they know about the sunken civilizations, no time to share, they're constantly persecuted, killed, or enslaved? I mean, like, there would definitely be time to share stuff at some point, like, even if it's just to other fishmen and people, like, hey, guys, ancient civilization, pass it down, you know, something like that. But yeah, I could see them definitely being persecuted and trying to be annihilated, honestly, because it's like, if anyone could figure out the secrets of the ancient world, it would be the fishmen and the merfolk. So I could see why the government for a long time was trying to exterminate them and just treat them like animals and just hunt them. And then something happened 200 years ago with the Iron Giant and stuff where it was just like, you know what? We can't exterminate them, so we have to, like, okay, if we can't beat them, then let them join us, kind of thing. So we can kind of keep an eye on them. So that's when they accepted them into Reverie. Did my super chat not go through? It did. I can pull up a list here in a moment. Actually, I could just do that right now. Rye. Speaking of liking villains, how has Kingdom been? Yeah, so I'm reading Kingdom right now. I'm chapter 520. So I'm getting really close. I'm like over 60% of the way through it. I'm in the middle of I just started the West Zhou invasion arc. So I'm really liking Riboku as a villain. I actually really feel bad for Riboku at a lot of times because, like, Riboku basically has the entire weight of his entire kingdom on his shoulders. Like, everybody else is kind of incompetent, and he has to be the one to fucking handle everything, and it's so much work, and it's like, damn, this is hard. You read fast. I've been reading it ever since I started reading Kingdom when I was in London. I was reading like the Rebellion arc, like the first arc in London, and that was over a month ago. So that was at the end of May, and now we're getting into like the middle of July. So I've read about 500 chapters in about 2 months. I don't know if that's fast or not, but that's how I've been reading. Yeah. Just got my grades back. I got a first in my degree. Good job, dude. Some ginger guy. There you go. Congratulations. First in my degree. Like, do you mean like are you a college student? Like, you got like first in your like whole course? Because that's really impressive. What do you think is Dragon's next move? After all of, I think they got to do assess the message, like after the message, and then Dragon's gonna think for a bit, and he's gonna be like, well, he's gonna think for a little bit, then he's gonna look east, and then he's gonna finally do something. Dragon will be doing something soon. I swear. This is like Game of Thrones on South Park all over again. The dragons are coming. The dragons are coming. They are gonna do something. Dragon is coming. He is gonna do something. It was like, you've been saying that for 20 goddamn years. It's like, yeah, I know. But Dragon is going to do something. Trust me, Dragon is coming. Have you thought about doing a retroactive Bleach review when the new anime finishes? Like, go back and do the whole thing? Like, probably not, no. I have been watching more Bleach, though. I've been watching the Arankar arc again. I started from, like, the beginning of the Arankar arc, and I'm rewatching that. Really good moments. I love the moment where Ikaku goes Bankai against Eterad. That's such a good scene. The dragons are coming. The dragons are coming. Luffy touches Zoro's swords and makes it a black blade grade sword is one of the possibilities Oda will probably do. The unpredictable he always do. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that if that's how Zoro makes it a black blade by Luffy interacting with it. I don't like that. Have you read all of the Bleach manga? Yes. I've read the entire Bleach manga at least twice. Yeah, I cannot wait for the return of Boncast. I got to do a video on Boncast about the new... I mean, like, it was announced when the new season's going to be. It's coming in fall. And, oh, wait, was it fall of this? No. Wait a minute. Hold on. When was it again? Let me just double check so I don't get it wrong. Bleach Core 3 release date. It's fall of this year, right? It just says 2024. October. I thought it was October. It's October. Yeah, it's October of this year. I was right. Okay. So I got to do a video about that, and I got to do a video about Rebirth of Souls as well. TC Thompson. I don't know how well Garp's and Dragon's full names are, or how well known they are. The Marines in Garp's unit were very surprised to learn Dragon's full name during the post-Ennies lobby arc. Yeah, I feel like most of the world knows him as Dragon. For number one, that's intimidating as fuck. And number two, Dragon really doesn't want people to know his family name because he even says to Kuma, like, family is my weakness. So if everybody knows he's Monkey D. Dragon, that might lead to issues. So probably Dragon himself is going to push his name as just being Dragon. But people probably found out and connected the dots. His name is Monkey D. Dragon, yeah. By the way, did you ever take out the D out of these characters' names and just say their first and last names, like their family names and given names? They sound so fucking weird. Hi, my name is Monkey Luffy. This is my dad, Monkey Dragon, and my grandpa, Monkey Garp. It's so weird. It's so weird. Will of D is the harbinger of death. Heavy metal. Yeah, Garp says Monkey D. Dragon. Well, obviously Garp would know. That's his son. He doesn't, like, but they don't try to announce it to the world. Yeah. It's actually Dragon Monkey. It's so weird on everyone except Blackbeard. Marshall Teach. Marshall Teach. Trafalgar, well, we used to just call him Trafalgar Law. Trafalgar Water Law. Jaguar Saul. Portgus Rouge. Goal Roger. Cleve Clover. That actually sounds badass. Yeah. Portgus Ace. That one's okay. I think that one's okay. Buggy Clown. What is goal? Oh yeah, Rox Zebek. Oh, actually, that does sound badass. Rox Zebek, I think, works really well. Yeah. Lily, yeah, Lily Nefertari, Vivi Nefertari. Yeah, that one works too. It's just, dude, I think it's one of those things of just how you hear it. You hear a thing all the time and you associate it with it and you change it. It's weird. You know what I mean? That's the way we've been calling him Monkey D. Luffy. If we've been calling him Monkey Luffy ever since Chapter 1, then it would be weird for us to include Monkey D. Luffy. It's kind of like the effect, I don't know if this is given a name or something. Have you ever run into somebody that says, like, you tell them your name, like I'll say, oh, my name is Matthew, and they'll look at me and be like, you look like a Matthew. And I always find that weird because it's like, dude, yeah, because I've been called that my whole life. If I was named something else, you'd be calling me that. If I was named Jeremiah, you'd be like, you look like a Jeremiah. Like, who the fuck, who the fuck goes up to somebody and like, hey, what's your name? Oh, my name's Benjamin. Pfft, you don't look like a Benjamin. You look like a Nicholas. Like, who the fuck ever says that? You know, like, never had it happen in my life. You know, it's just like, yeah, no duh. I'm a Matt. I've been called Matt for 31 years. I'm 31. God, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I was going to say, I've been a Matt for 29 years. I'm like, no, I'm in my 30s now. I'm 31. Teching, you single-handedly got me into my favorite piece of fiction, One Piece. Hope you have a great day. I will have a great day, Rich. Thank you. Thank you, Rich. You do look like a Jeremiah. The name I was supposed to have, I think if I was a girl, my mom was going to name me Anne, I think, which is kind of similar to Ace. It was Ace, Anne, yeah. But I was going to be named Anne, I think, which is my great aunt's name and my mom's middle name. Or if another boy name that my parents were throwing around was Terry. But the thing is, like, if I was named Terry, you'd be sitting there being like, yeah, you look like a Terry, because that's how I've always presented myself, right? Like, I announced myself as Terry. You'd be like, Matt, nah, you don't look like a Matt. You look like a Terry. You know, just like, yeah. He does look like a Jeremiah, doesn't he? My name is Nicholas Benjamin. Scary Terry? Yeah. Terry was the name of my uncle that passed away when he was a little kid. It was my dad's youngest brother. So I would have been okay with it. They're also thinking about using it as my middle name. I would have been okay with it, having Terry as my middle name. But I like the way it ended up because my first name is Matthew, which is my great-grandfather's name, who came over here from Ukraine, from the old country. So my first name is my great-grandfather's name. My middle name is Paul, which is his son, Paul, my grandfather. So it's great-grandfather, grandfather. And then my last name, Crawford, I get from my dad. So it's not the same family. It's on my mom's side and then my dad's side. But great-grandfather, grandfather, father. And that's my name. And I like that. I like the way that kind of layers. So that's cool. Yeah. Matthew Terry is so good. I think Terry would have been fine. I'd have been okay with that. But Paul is my grandfather's name, so I'm all right with that as well. Yeah. It's not like they picked some random fuck name for my middle initial that like meant nothing. I just like, what name sounds good? I don't know, Jim. Just like Matthew Jim Crawford. It's like, nah, then I might have changed it. But, Jim is my mom's fiance's name. So it's a cool name, but, the old country. I mean, that my family's from the Ukraine. I'm from Ukraine. Yeah. Yeah, Matthew T. Crawford sounds slightly better than Matthew P. Crawford. Maybe. I think it would have worked fine. I think it would have been okay. Yeah. James is my middle name. James. Yeah. You have streamed for 56 minutes of a 60-minute stream. Well, it's not going to be a 60-minute stream exactly. I didn't it's not going to be exact. Are my parents divorced? Yes, they are. Don't feel bad. It happened like 17 years ago. It's okay. Hey, Teching, have you heard the theory about Longring Longland being connected to the Nika fruit? We just talked about that earlier. I think that Oda's, that's going to be one of the little, winks of, I was setting this up a long time ago. Wink. We're going to see Longring Longland during the Void Century or whatever. But I don't know if it's, personally created by Joy Boy. But it was probably connected to it, yeah. I think a lot of islands are going to be connected to it, too. Ennie's Lobby, definitely. Raijin Island, Thriller Bark, or maybe the Florian Triangle is going to be. Because Thriller Bark came from the west, but Florian Triangle in general. Love that work you do. Thank you. Thank you. Have you noticed that in the big three of the Supernova, Kid, Luffy, Law, Kid and Luffy have Conqueror's Haki, Luffy and Law have the D in their name, and Kid and Law didn't become Yonko? Yeah, so it's confirmed that Kid and Luffy have Conquerors. Law having it, I don't think would surprise anybody. I think I'm really surprised that Law doesn't confirm to have Conqueror's Haki at this point. But doesn't he? I feel like he should. Luffy and Law have a D in their name, and Kid and Law didn't become Yonko. So maybe, it's like, so you have the Conquerors and the D in order to become a Yonko. It is a little weird, but I guess the idea is they have to have 4 emperors. They don't want to do the 5 emperors, 6 emperors or whatever like that. There are 6 emperors now. Luffy, Law, Kid, Buggy, Shanks, and Blackbeard. I guess they didn't want to do that. There has to be only 4 for some reason. So I guess Luffy was the one that got the credit with defeating Kaido, so they gave it to him. And then they're like, well, Kid and Law defeated Big Mom. He's like, yeah, but we can't have both of them be emperors, so just give it to Buggy. My little cousin is named Krillin, unironically. Yeah, I've seen that before, and, I don't think I'm ever going to have children, but I would never name my child after an anime character. But you know what? If it's something important to you, go right ahead, but I would just be a little cautious when naming your children, because that's their name that they have to deal with. So, it might be something important to you, but if it's a name that's a little bit out there or silly or goofy, that might just lend to them getting bullied more. I know there was a story about a kid named, Naruto, they literally just named him Naruto. It's that might, I don't know if, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they won't get made fun of. Maybe they won't get bullied, but you got to be careful because that's their name they have to live with. Okay. It shouldn't be because because there's so many celebrities that name their kids stupid shit for the sake of we're celebrities, we're eccentric. It's fuck you. You know what I mean? That kid has to deal with it, So let me say okay. Weirdest names. We'll still do One Piece, but we're about an hour in. So at this point, it's going to be more scattershotted. Weirdest names celebrities have named their kids. All right, what do we got here? All right. Yeah, this is one I knew about. Jason Lee and Beth Rissengraf named their son Pilot Inspector. PilotInspektor. Jason Lee, I liked him in My Name is Earl. That was a really good show back in the mid-2000s. It wasn't a bad show, but like Jason Lee, like what are you doing? You don't name your kid that. Like Apple, Gwyneth Paltrow and ex-husband Coldplay frontman Chris Martin named their daughter Apple. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, Elon Musk is the big one. Elon Musk named their kid. Yeah, here it is. I literally, like, I think it's pronounced Ash. I think she just goes by Ash, I think. But, like, I literally have no idea how to even pronounce this. I don't even know what this icon is. It's like an A and an E mashed together. I have no idea what to even say that is. XIA-12. Like, Northwest. I mean, come on, guys. Northwest is the most normal one. I know people that named their kids Easton, and not the same family, but I know another family that named their kid Weston. And I'm like, all right, if you're going to do that, if you have two kids, just name them Easton and Weston. Like, just, it's not even a letter. Like, yeah, Buddy Bear, Kal-El. So just Superman's name. Okay. Nicolas Cage took his obsession a step further than most when he named his son after a Superman. So Nicolas Cage's son is named Kal-El. Okay, that one maybe. That one maybe just because he could go by Cal. He could just like, yeah, my name's Cal. Nice to meet you. That's more normal, you know. But it's like, dude, it's their names that they have to deal with. It's not your fucking like ego or like, I really like One Piece. I will name my child Goal. It's just like, come on, don't do that. Just name him Clark if you're going to do that. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, I'm Nicolas Cage. My son is not a Clark Kent. My son is a Superman. Nicolas Cage. I'm like, all right. There you go. Whatever. Yeah, there's some One Piece names I think would work. Like, if you really love One Piece and when you name your kid One Piece, Edward Newgate. There you go. I mean, it depends also on what country, what language you speak. Because there's language, like Oda, just in the last chapter, he named Clover based off of an Irish word. But that one might not be a typical Irish word for, like, a name, right? But he does use different languages and stuff. You know? Violet is fine. Rebecca, you know, that's fine. Marshall. Roger even. Just like, if I'm a fan of One Piece, I'm going to name my son Roger. That's fine. There you go. It's been, the will has been passed down. There you are. Robin is good. I think you could even get away with Nami, really. A friend of mine's older sister had a baby recently, and she named her Naomi. And I'm thinking, oh, Naomi, that's a good name. So Naomi, Nami, I think Nami would work for a name. I think that's fine. Yeah. Kobe, yeah, that's fine. Kobe, Marco. Pearl, that might be a little, well, Pearl, I think Pearl's one of the older names. It's like, you know, my grandmother was named Gaynell. I don't think a lot of people are named that anymore, but that was just a name back in the day that was more prevalent and popular. So she was named that. My other grandma was named Rose, which I think, yeah, Rose is probably a more, like, you probably hear people named Rose nowadays. I think it's less popular than it was back in like the 20s or 30s. You know, Iris, K-N-L. It was Gaynelle. Gaynell. That was her name. My grandma was named Elsa. I think Elsa's fine. Lucy, I think, is fine. Like Lucy might be seen as an older name. Like, I love Lucy, but I think Lucy's a good name. Bernadette is actually kind of a sick name. I kind of like that, actually. Bernadette. Yeah. Ben. Just Ben Beckman. Yeah, Ben. Olive. Olive is an older lady's name. Like, there's some names. What's the most old lady name that you can think of? I think most people are just going to associate that with their grandparents. Like, Rose to me is a very old lady name because that was my grandmother's name. But, you know, it's not necessarily. It's just, you know, but what's a really old lady name? Beatrice. Yeah, Beatrice is Marge. Oh, yeah. Marge or I feel Helen. How about Helen? I feel like Helen is an old lady's name. That was also a name of one of my great aunts, my great aunt Helen. Maria, I think, is common enough that there's a lot of Marias. Agatha. Oh, yeah. Agatha, Beatrice, Claudette. Claudette is kind of cool. I know. Gertrude. Yeah. Gertrude, Karen. That's my mom's name. There's no Karen. Like, people stopped naming their children Karen. Like, Karens were the most popular in, like, the 50s and 60s. In recent years, nobody's naming their kid Karen anymore. Meredith. Mildred. Yeah, no one's naming their daughter Mildred in 2024. If you are, no. God, Mildred. Ugh. That one is like a visceral. Yeah, Mildred. It sounds like mildew. Like you are setting your daughter up to be made fun of in elementary school by being called mildew at that point. Like that is literally a tee up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Ruth, I think Ruth is fine. Susan is fine. Eugenia's a little weird. Ethel. Yeah, Ethel. That's another. Ethel, Mildred, Esther. You know, but then again, like in 100 years, they might look at names now as like weird and like, you know, old. Like, hold on. What are the most popular baby names in America in 2024? What are people naming their kids right now? What do we got? Okay. Number 1, most popular baby names of 2024. Are you guys ready for this shit? Are you ready? Okay. Number 1 for girls. I think it's one we actually covered here. Olivia. I think Olivia's good. Olivia's fine. For boys, surprising, not something I would figure, Noah. So Olivia and Noah. Like, all right, and Noah's already an old-ass name. Noah's from fucking Bible, for God's sake, right? So, Olivia and Noah. So, in like, I don't know, in 80 years, they might be like, Olivia, ugh, grandma name, you know, whoever. Then we have, this is a good one, Amelia. I like Amelia. Like Amelia Pond from Doctor Who. Emma, Sophia. These are the girl names. Charlotte. I like Charlotte. Charlotte's a good name. Isabella. Ava. Okay. Ava is a name I would say is an older name, and maybe it's looping back around. Maybe Ava was really big maybe in like the 1800s, and it looped back around to now. For boys, it's Noah, Liam, Oliver, Elijah, Mateo. Okay, that's the Spanish version. Is this all nations together? Is this worldwide, or is this just the United States? I don't know. It just says most popular baby names of 2024. Mateo, Lucas, Levi, Ezra, not Urza, Ezra, Asher, and Leo are the top 10 baby names for boys. And then Mia, Luna, and Ellie. I like Luna. Luna's a good name. I like Luna. Yeah. Probably my favorites would be Luna, Charlotte, and Amelia for girls. And for boys, I would say Liam is a good name. I like Mateo because I'm Matt. And then Ezra sounds cool. Yeah. Yeah. When are we doing the Cartoon Network tier list? Not this weekend, but at some point. Hold on, where's Matthew at? Matthew is number 50. Matthew's number 50 here. So my name stocks are kind of low. Is Karen on here? Karen is not even on the list. These are top 100? Yeah, top 100 names. Karen is not even on the list. Yeah. Where's Jonathan? Jonathan, not on the list. Not spelled like that. John, like John, is 51. It's actually right below Matthew. Blaine is not on the list. Where's Christian at? Christian is 91. Christian's 91. Julian's 39. Namia's not on the list. Where's Nekamamushi? 34 is Nekamamushi. Jack is 25. Jack's 25. Jackson is 32. Brandon is not on the list. Not a lot of Brandons in the new age. Not a lot of Brandons. And what gen are we on? Gen Alpha? Is it Gen Alpha? I think it's Gen Alpha. So yeah, Gen Alpha. Not a lot of that. Let's See, Jacob is still up here. Jacob is 52. It literally goes Isaac, Matthew, John, Jacob. A lot of Bible names around the 50 mark. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Isaac, you know. Where's Mark at? Mark is not on the list. No Marks anymore. Or maybe Marcus. Nope. Chad. No Chads on the list. You'd think Chad, right? You'd think Chad would be on the list. Michael is probably just... Michael is 21. Michael's 21. Luca? Luca is 11. Luca is actually right outside the top 10 for male names. Right outside that. Rick. Maverick is 17. My friend Chris was going to name his son Maverick. They decided not to because of Top Gun just came out, and they were worried that the movie Top Gun just came out. Maverick, that might be a little bit on the nose. But it's the 17th most popular baby name, apparently. Jesse is not on the list. Gabrielle. Gabrielle is 29 for men. And 68, Gabriella, 68 for women. Liam is number 2. If you're named Liam, you have the second most popular name in 2024. Eben? Aben? Nope, not on the list. Stella? Stella's 42 for women. Stella! Travis. We're just doing name search now. Travis. No. Travis. Bob. No Bobs. Probably Robert. No Roberts either. Bob, Robert. Maybe these are two common names, you know. Adrian. Adrian is 73 for men. Yeah, top man. Let's get to the bottom of this. Nope, not on the list. Joseph. Joseph's 54. Christopher. 81. Pretty common name, but it's pretty low on the list now. I think a lot of the most common names are going to be on the bottom because I think nowadays people don't want to name their, you want your kid to stand out. You don't want your kid to have just Bob. Your name's Bob. You don't want to have that. So it's yeah. Like Dylan, Easton's on the bottom, Colton, Parker, Taylor. Don't diss Bob's. All right, I'll do one more and then I'll Robin. No Robin. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm done searching names. But yeah, that's the idea of what people are naming their kids. Pretty. I think the names are fine for the most part. Every now and then I run across somebody that's I named my child's Flower or something. But okay. I knew somebody that named their kid Phoenix, which I think for a girl Phoenix works. I think that can work that. Yeah. Wolfgang is the coolest name. Wolfgang is a pretty cool name, yeah. Name her Tulip or something, yeah. Phoenix up, Phoenix down. Yeah, there you go. I'll name my daughter Phoenix Down. She'll never die. There was a baby named Waldo. Of course there is. Of course there is, yeah. Look, I'm not saying you can't name your kids something unique. I'm not saying you have to stay to rigid, these are the only names available. But just keep in mind, it's not your name you have to live with. It's their name. They have to deal with it. And if you name them something really fucking stupid, they're probably going to change it as soon as they turn 18. All right? So just keep that in mind. All right? It's something you have to do. You have to name your child. You have to give them a name. And they don't get a say in it because they're babies. So you have to be, that's a responsibility you have. All right? I will name my child Kilgore. Yeah. Dio is a cool name. It just means God in Italian, right? Yeah. Tifa is fine, but maybe people would make fun of that person because named after a video game character. Yeah. Yeah, so I feel give them a name that is probably on this list. Don't go over the top with it. Don't go your name shall be @ parentheses. Give them a normal name. And if they really want something unique and different, when you turn 18, you could go to the courthouse and fill out a form. It probably costs $40 to change your name. It's probably not very expensive. If you really want it. Does anyone ever know anybody that changed their name? Legitimately changed their name? That'd be crazy. It just seems like such a pain in the ass. Like all the stuff you'd have to do to change your name. Everything would change. Like license, your all government documents you have, like everything would have to change. How would a birth certificate work? Would you have to get like a new certificate that's like, I changed my name here? It's like, it would be a mess. Be a mess. I'm in the process of changing my name. Oh, Mia. Yeah. My grandmother changed her name. Oh, that's cool. My child will be named Mo. Mo cut out. Yeah. Yeah. My best friend's whole family changed their names because his dad went to jail for an awful crime. So they, Hitler's family, I think, did that too. Because Hitler didn't have any kids, but he had a brother. Then the brother had children, and I think they changed their names over here for like obvious reasons. Actually, I think Hitler's brother's son fought for the Americans in World War II or something like that. It was very, very crazy. Yeah. Parents, if you're not sure, you give your games a good name. Text help Matt. Text help Matt. Yeah. Can you even say the name here? Well, I did. I changed my name. Okay, yeah. Have you seen the earliest concept for One Piece that was released for the month? Yeah, I have seen that. Artor shared that on the in Twitter. I did see that, yeah. By the way, Twitter has now just officially changed to X. Twitter is now dead. It's now just X.com. But I'm gonna continue to call it Twitter because that was such a better name. We were talking about this yesterday in Discord before we did One Piece D&D. We were talking about it, like me and Spooky. We were saying, like, dude, they had the brand. Like, people use Twitter and like, oh, I'm gonna send a tweet. Like, people had it. It was in the lexicon. You added a word that people associated it with, and you change it to just post, repost. Like, you had a word that was yours, okay? It would be like I have my channel name, Teching, which is just a word I made up, and then I changed, like, you know what? I'm going to rebrand the Teching 101 channel. What are you going to call it? One Piece Guy. It's much more memorable. It's like, what? No, it isn't. It's not about branding anymore. I guess so. That's true. It's not about branding anymore. Yeah. Yeah, Twitter changed its name, yeah. Musk is just a perpetually edgy 11-year-old. You know, I always associate it with this. I always say it sounds like the name. Like, if you went up to a teenager in, like, the mid-2000s, in, like, when I was, like, in middle school, and it was like, what's a cool name for a website that's edgy and nice and cool? And it's just like, X. Like, son, you may have saved this company. It's just like... It's such a, like, Xbox. Which, by the way, Xbox also has, like, okay, Xbox. Cool name for a gaming console. Really cool name for a gaming console. You had Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation 2. Great. Three different, the big three. I guess at this point, Sega was still around. Dreamcast, whatever. But, like, all right, at this point, you still have all of these things going on, right? But then, here you go. Xbox 360. All right, cool. Xbox and then Xbox 360. Then you have Xbox One. A little weird you're calling it Xbox One because it's not the Xbox One. It's the third one, but okay. And then Xbox Series X. Please stop. Just please stop. Like, it's just, quit adding X's to it. It becomes more cringe the more X's you add to it. It really does. Just do, yeah. I would have been okay with, like, okay, you can't do Xbox 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because that's kind of what PlayStation did. Even though you already did Xbox One, PlayStation 1. Just, I like the idea that you should have just went, like, Xbox 360, 720, 1080, and just keep doubling it. Just fine. I mean, like, it's predictable. It's a good way to number it. Fine, do that. you know? Do that. Go for it. The next one will be Xbox Extreme. It's like, oh my, they might be. That's the thing. Oh, dude. Xbox Excelsior. That might be a cool name. That might be their best option. Right. Can I name my kid Sephiroth and call him Seth? You name your kid Seth, like Seth, and then like later in life when he's like 35, you actually say, well, your name is actually Sephiroth. What? You know. There you go. That might be a good way to do it. Like, name your kid one thing, like Seth, and then he just goes through his normal like childhood. His name is just Seth or whatever, and then when he's like an adult, you say it's actually not Seth, it's Sephiroth, because if you want to change it, you can now. It's fine, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna get going because it's about 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go eat, pack up, and then I'm gonna get going. So I will be in Gettysburg for the weekend. I might be posting some stuff to the vlog channel maybe, because I'll be doing vlogging stuff. I don't really travel very much. I should have vlogged more when I was in London, but I was just having a lot of fun. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will be back on Monday with some stuff. I think that's all. There is One Piece next week. There's no break this week. There was a break for My Hero this week, though. I was really expecting to read that this morning, and it's like, no, there was a break last week for that. Anyway, though, thanks for watching. This will be Teching 101, signing out. Later, all. Extreme!